don't recall us taking any official action to place that ad.
Did you discuss this ad with Mr. Watson prior to its publication?
We discussed in general the idea of putting an ad out there so that the citizens of Alachua would not feel uncomfortable in terms of their information being out there. And we talked in general about making sure that our citizens understood that voting absentee shouldn't be an uncomfortable process for them, and that the information on who voted absentee is a matter that's dictated by law, and what could we do to make sure that our citizens receive information that help their comfort level. So we talked in general terms about doing an ad.
When you say we, who's included with them?
Mr. Watson, myself. Okay.
So far as you know, there was no discussion of that sort in the commission meeting?
Not that I recall. To my recollection, I don't recall that being discussed.
And so as far as you know, as far as you recollect, the city commission didn't approve it.
Not that I remember. No.
Would you take a look at the last sentence there in that ad? And would you read that to us, please?
If you voted by absentee ballot in the April 11, 2006 election for an Alachua City Commissioner and received any inquiries regarding your vote that you deem unwelcome, please feel free to contact the city so further action may be taken as provided by law.
Do you know what further action the city would take as provided by law under that statement?
No, I do not. We would defer that to legal counsel.
Now, you were on the canvassing board that met on the evening of April 11, 2006.
Okay.
And there was no discussion of the Willett Dixon matter in the canvassing board meeting, was it? Now, at the time this ad ran, you knew, did you not, that Mr. Graksky and Mr. Candy and others were attempting to review public records in the city pertaining to the 2006 election?
I don't know if I can answer that because I don't know what date that was run or the dates of the other events.
Was that ad not run as a means to interfere with the attempt of these citizens to find out about what happened in the election?
Would you restate that question, please?
Wasn't the city attempting to interfere with the efforts of Mr. Graksky, Mr. Candy, and others to find out what they thought was the truth about the April the 11th election?
As I mentioned earlier, all I can say is that we were concerned about our citizens and their comfort level. That was the idea of having something for our citizens to be aware that we were concerned about their comfort level. That was the only discussion that we had, and that was the only reason that I would recall that we ran that ad.
And was there equal concern expressed about the rights of the citizens that wish to examine the functions of the city and the public records of the city?
We're always concerned about all of the requests and functions.
Now, are you aware that Mr. Gratzky was in the City Hall on about April 28th, inspecting public records, and then some controversy arose as to his using his tape recorder to tape the discussions between himself and members of the city staff?
In general, yes, I'm aware as to the specific dates and times. I wouldn't recall those specific dates and times.
Are you aware that Mr. Gratzky was here on one day, and then he came back on another day, and that then Mr. Watson arrested Mr. Gratzky on the second day for what he claimed that Mr. Gratzky had done on the first day? Does that make sense to you?
Well, I'm aware in general of some events that you described in that general manner.
Well, what are you aware of? Tell us what you're aware of.
That just as you said, Mr. Gratzky came to City Hall. He apparently was recording conversations. There was a question whether that was legal, and then I'm aware that he came back to City Hall and that he was arrested.
Now, you discussed that matter with Mr. Watson between the time Mr. Gratzky was first here and the time he was arrested, didn't you?
I did. I discussed it with him by telephone.
And in fact, you authorized the arrest, didn't you?
I would not say that I authorized the arrest. I have no authority to do that at all. We discussed it because we knew that that would be a matter of media attention, and it was a matter that if it affected the city, that we should have some dialogue about it.
Isn't it true that you reported to the press that Mr. Watson did not go out on a limb by himself?
I did make that statement, again, because I knew it was going to be a media issue, and I knew that that was going to put the city in the media's eyes, and I wanted him to understand that if the city was brought into the media's eyes and the citizens were watching the media, that the message was there, that we had this dialogue, and I made that statement. So
Mr. Watson was certainly acting for the city when he did what he did.
He was, my understanding is that he was acting within the parameters of the law.
I understand, but he was acting as a city official. Isn't that correct?
As an officer of the law, or as a city
official?
As a city official, if that's the way the law looks at it, I would agree with that statement.
Well, Ms. Calderwood, the police officers of the City of Alachua Police Force don't call you prior to making every arrest they make, do they?
No.
But Mr. Watson, city manager, called you the mayor in connection with this arrest, did he not?
He called me regarding the matter of Mr. Gratzky doing the recording, and any details about that had to do with the concern for the city being in the media's attention, or being in the city in the media's eyes. Our concern was how that was going to affect our community, and if we were in the media's eyes, then would we feel that this was something that would affect our citizens or our community. And I certainly want to be aware of any situations like that occur. The dialogue had to do with how it would affect our community. It didn't have any relationship to the law in terms of the enforcement or how that's interpreted. It was the well-being of our community.